Hey, Alex here. And we got a great question from the Cold Crowd community. If you're not a member, link is in the description for you to go ahead and check it out and join. Would love to see you in there. Also, you can subscribe and like if you like this video, if you find it helpful. So get that out of the way. What should I focus on, inbound or outbound? Inbound versus outbound, the classic battle royale, right? So I view this question sort of as, what should I focus on right now? Sales, right? Outbound. I frame it really more as a sales channel thing. So do I focus on sales or do I focus on marketing? Okay. And inbound being more marketing types of activities that you're engaged in. So what I'll say off the top, so it really depends on where you're at in your business, in your life, and what kind of experiences you have. Okay, there's some folks that I know who kind of like started in marketing and learning marketing first and things like this. And so they're a lot more comfortable with that kind of the inbound methodology and all that kind of stuff. There's some people that are more sort of raised on sales and, learned sales early on and that kind of like stuff, so they're a little more apt to jump right into sales, right? So it's just kind of like up to your skill set and where you're at. But if you're a beginner and you're starting your agency or your business and you're kind of like, where do I start? Do I start with marketing or do I start with sales? The clear answer for a beginner is you start with sales. You start with outbound, okay? The reason is that outbound generally it's very possible to get short-term returns from outbound. Like if you reach out to a certain amount of people, get a certain reply rate, book enough meetings, go ahead and convince them or sell them or just diagnose their problem and go, yep, my service solves this, let's go ahead and work together. You're going to be closing sales, okay, pretty quickly. And that's really the big advantage with outbound is that you're closing sales relatively quickly. You're not having to play this very long-term game with it. You can just start today, start sending some emails, test the market, jump on meetings, see what the deal is, right, in your niche or with your service, and just kind of work on it and get direct feedback fast, okay? It's also cheaper to start. I mean, you can literally set up an email address for $6 a month. You can start sending emails manually at first. If you have to, if you have no money, I mean, it's like you can instantly, if you can close one client from free efforts, then you can start to invest in your business and, that flywheel, that momentum starts to happen, okay, which is what you want to see. I think when you're first getting started or you're like just a little bit into the journey and you're still kind of figuring it out, kind of finding your sea legs, as we like to say, kind of like just figuring out how to balance on the whole thing and figure out your right niche and the right market to sell the right thing to. I think outbound is just the fastest way to get feedback. It's the fastest way to kind of learn about the market. It's the fastest way to get on calls, actually talk to people, make connections. It's a great way to kind of break also that fear that you may have of getting on the phone and doing meetings. Outbound generally leads to a meeting. So, you're sending, emails and LinkedIn messages and DMs and you're trying to jump on a meeting to then discuss their needs and diagnose the issue or whatever. So in short, I think if you're a beginner, go after outbound. Let's talk about inbound though a little bit because there are some very clear advantages to inbound. Inbound is by far the most, scalable, long-term, compounding interest side of this equation. So again, if you look at it as sales and marketing, sales is where you're out there aggressively, closing sales. Marketing is where you're creating assets that get, that basically age like a fine wine. You get, they get better results over time. More people see them. A lot of it can be organic. So people are just kind of finding you based on valuable content, starting to trust you before they even jump into booking a sales call or any of that kind of stuff. Right. So you're kind of like pre-qualifying, you're educating, you're priming your audience on what you're bringing to the table and kind of your view on things and what, yada, yada, how well your system works and all this kind of stuff. So for the more intermediate kind of advanced business owners or agency owners, inbound is the clear scalable method. It's the one where you can create a piece of content once and have it perform for literally a lifetime, right? So it's more asset driven and it's just more compounding interest. Also, like I said, the organic aspect where, you just put up a piece of content, people search for that topic, find you, go into the funnel, already start to begin to trust you and ingest your content, and then eventually reach out because they want a meeting or buy one of your products, just online or whatever it is, right? You have like all these different avenues now to bring that person in and nurture them with education, content, topics that they relate to, and eventually, hey, maybe they have enough money, or they want to outsource from the get-go, and they just go, hey, I'd like someone to just help me with this, right? So for an agency, that's the best case scenario. You've got customers coming in just kind of automatically on automatic, and as long as you stay consistent and keep making content, more business comes in. Works the same in social media, right? If you're posting valuable content and things to Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever it is, and getting that in front of some eyes, going out, following people, supporting other people, retweeting their content or sharing their content, or kind of collaborating, creating community, like I mentioned in many other videos of mine. Like, you're just building trust. You're just building these pools of your target audience that are ingesting what you're putting out, and the ones that resonate, the ones that find value in it, those are also going to be your best clients. So inbound, marketing, inbound, whatever you want to call it, is by far in my opinion, the best way to fill the sales pipeline, and close more deals and grow your business. However, it is a longer term play. So I think for intermediate to advanced folks who kind of already have some cash flow going, they've done the outbound route, they've gotten some clients, they've been on a lot of calls, they have good product market fit, they feel like they really know what they're doing and what they're doing in the market. That's the time that you can really start to scale up content. On another note, though, I will say there is kind of an exception. I'm sort of going to break my own rule here, that even when you're first getting started and you're, kind of learning a skill, starting to, deliver it as a freelancer or whatever, or for clients, or building your small agency, you should be creating content from day one. I think it's so important that, writing about things, talking about things, making videos about things, addressing questions that you can find on the internet or that people bring to you, whatever it is just so powerful. And it also helps you learn because you think through these concepts and you actually have to write about them. You really prove that you know something when you can write about it, right? So that quest to just write and create content, even if it's kind of bad in the beginning or it's not the best it could be, it'll grow and get better over time also, so that by the time that you're really, things are kind of coming together, you already have content out, you're already getting some organic traffic, you're already kind of building your trust and your authority in the subject or the niche, and you can just level that up and just turn that up a notch when you're ready, and boom, now you're in the inbound game and you're getting all this organic traffic and you're building more trust, and your prospects already know you and already know your views, and they just jump on calls and go, yeah, how much is it? What's the deal? Yeah, I want to sign up. They're pre-sold right through all of your content. Also, you're educating people. Sometimes there's people that are not even problem aware yet. They don't know they have a problem. So there's a lot of cases where you can kind of pull out little pain points and kind of lead them to the point that, hey, you have a problem. You think that everything's fine, but you actually have a problem, and this is the problem, and then present the solution, and there's more content on the solution. So it's just so much more scalable. You can target every stage of the pipeline of people that are not quite aware yet. So they're not problem aware, they're not solution aware, or they're straight just ready to buy, in market. So there's just all these ways to do it. So, actionable advice, kind of conclusion here. Which is better, inbound or outbound? They both have a lot of merit. They both have a lot of value. So outbound is definitely the faster, more direct way to sort of get customers, book appointments, learn more about niches, test markets, kind of, get early clients, get early users, things like this. Outbound is great for it. And honestly, it's something that should be done all the time, right? I think that the nature of it just changes a little bit. I talked about this on another video, but I think that, trigger-based outbound is also another thing. Once you have the inbound system working, people are coming in, there's going to be people that kind of hit these triggers, like they book a sales call, or they click a button that's like, I want help with this now, but they don't follow through or whatever. And if you have this person in your database or your CRM, your salespeople can then go reach out with some intention, and it's an outbound approach coming from like inbound signals, right? So there's all kinds of, this can get more complex than I'm really describing right this second, but point being that outbound has a lot of value. It works. It's going to continue to work. And I'll do some other videos on outbound and how to do that properly. But, basically outbound works, right? But it's that kind of more short term, more direct solution. Very good for beginners to focus 100% on, just to get those first clients, that first cash flow, so that they can start to grow, get better results, do all these kinds of things. Inbound, is also just incredibly powerful. And to me personally is probably my preferred choice, as far as, if it's a proven offer, it's a proven market, you're looking to get customers the long term, you're looking to run this business the long term, you're looking to create some moats as well, some MOATs, some differentiators in your company as well, and intellectual property even, so to speak. Creating content, you're just creating assets for the brand. You're doing branding, you're building the trust around the brand so much that it'll help you exit for more money. It'll help the value of the business goes up so much when you have some organic traffic and you have some content built that brings people into the funnel, educates them, all this kind of stuff. So inbound is definitely the preferred method, but if you're just getting started, start with outbound and then graduate to inbound. Start writing content from the very get-go. You exercise that part of your brain, writing, making videos, documenting. Do that, right? Because it's just going to help you learn. It's going to actually advance your whole journey a lot, to do that. And, you never really know if you're truly an expert until you start trying to write about it. If you can write about it, you are an expert, okay? I hope you like this video. I hope it gave you some insights sort of on the inbound, outbound thing. And, if you have any questions, of course, put them in the comments. If you have a video request or want me to talk about a certain subject and get some insights, please, comment below, in the comment section. And subscribe to the channel and like this video if you found it helpful at all. You can share it with a friend, or a colleague if you feel like this would be helpful for somebody. Give them some help in video form so they don't have to go figure it out themselves.